Today on Give Me a Break, we're going to be talking about DWB. Yes, I have to go there. Driving while black. What is DWB? Well, according to Wikipedia, driving while black, DWB is a phrase American English refer to as racial profiling of African American drivers. The phrase implies that motorists might be pulled over by police officers and questioned and searched simply because of racial bias. That's a wordplay. The origins of this started back in the 1990s in the wake of war on drugs. Then the phrase in War versus the United States in 1996. So that's the Supreme Court came on to this in 1996. Simply, why would you be pulled over because you were black? 1996 in New Jersey, Maryland happened there, 2003, Florida 3 years ago. Like, isn't that a racist thing? I don't think it is. The reason is because if this is racist, this thing was racist, let me tell you, calling young is a code word for black. I don't want to be racist here, but we may post opinions, but DWB right here, I think it's a racial thing. Because let me say, in my opinion, if a white officer pulled over a black person, I'm not saying ever had like free the slaves and then Martin Luther King dreamed of having black and white mixed together. I'm not going to go too much into this because it may be racist. But if it was racist, I shut down the video. But these cases right here, look at these cases right here from Wikipedia. Chris Rock posted tweets. Serena Williams last year made a Facebook post. Says, I won't be silent. Serena Williams in the fear of driving while black. That was the New York Times what they did, but I'm not going to get into this too much because I don't want to have the comments saying that I'm racist, which I'm not racist. But we're gonna take a break right now because this is really dragging me down. We're gonna drag it. So when we come back, we're gonna talk about a teacher back in 2010 that was fired for throwing a tantrum, for having a nervous breakdown and staffing. Later on, we're gonna talk about. Later on, we're gonna talk about. Sorry. Later on, what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about emergency doors in schools. I think we say give me a break, and then later on, we're going to talk about gas prices. All that much more still ahead on Give Me a Break. So what came to my attention years ago was that A teacher from Tennessee had been suspended from high school after throwing tables, chairs around the classroom following taunts. So according to the dailymail.co.uk, teacher removed from classroom on a stretcher after throwing chairs and tables while pupils taunted him. Donald Woods, that taught for 17 years. He was currently teaching 11 years on Friday. So this student records the incident on the phone. The reason why was because he wanted to get a good reaction. One student films shots at pupils, and then the caption for this one says, Mr. Work can be seen overturning 2 tables in the classroom before picking up a metal pen and smashing it into the ground. And the video started when they told him to shut up. You've probably seen the video, you had your own opinions on this, but after the video, police came, took him on a stretcher. This is what it said right here. Suspended Mr. Will was taken from the school on a stretcher and had to be placed in administrative leave pending an investigation. So I don't know if Joshua Jenkins told Channel 5 he picked up a chair, threw it on the ground, not a student, but told the student was close. And that's when it got up and started walking away. That was a student who said. One witness said he taught for 17 years. And what did the principal say? Well, listen, Principal Wall said I had not experienced anything like that in 32 years of education. He said it was very agitated, very scattered. He didn't make any sense. He's been placed on administrative leave years ago, and then it's been still on investigation like that. Now, there are many things that you've seen many teachers like flip out because the student doesn't shut up like that. There are tons of videos that show teachers yelling at students because they don't be quiet or they want to do work or something like that. But what about the principals? Yeah, the principal can really flip out like that. So back last year, there was a video on YouTube that talked about a student who took a crap in the sink and then expected the custodians to pick it up. But when the assistant principal came in and saw it, all the students came into that one spot. And this one, and he said this, just so we're clear, when people don't shit in the toilet in the school, I'm going to pick up the shit. I'm not going to ask custodians in this building to pick up crap when it's let anyone else put in there. He's just going on about this whole speech, like, let me have the phone until that's appropriate. I said to myself, you may see it on South Park, but it's not South Park. That's what it was. So that was one instance. I got plenty more instances I'll give you about next week. So we continue, but when we come back, we're going to talk about when we come back, we're going to talk about what we're going to talk about is pencil ban. A teacher wanted to ban pencils and pens back in November 2010. But isn't this worth it? Why would a teacher ban pencils? You know about the news just a minute. This had to be the craziest thing that made me say, "Give me a break." A Massachusetts school district was trying. So, school Massachusetts trying to ban pencils and pens in the classroom. Don't you need pencils and pens to do schoolwork? You want to implement technology? No. Listen to what this memo said. Students are not going to be allowed to bring violent implements to school. That's when we have for students in class. And any students caught with pencils or pens after November 15th would face disciplinary action for having materials to build weapons. The school sent that memo without permission. I heard that these schools have zero tolerance of bullying, and sexual harassment. I'll get into those two rants later. Like these like stupid weapons like pop quizzes, not a weapon. Compasses could be paper cutters. Lose a finger like that. You want to ban teachers wearing spandex? That's fine. Think of some good ways you can ban teachers to wear or bring. Make it as creative as you want in the comments below. Now, in our next segment, when we come back, we're going to talk about zero tolerance, meaning two things. One, zero tolerance on bullying, and two, zero tolerance on sexual harassment. That's next. All right, we're back. We're talking about zero tolerance policy. It requires school officials to hand in specific consent or harsh punishment, usually suspension or expulsion when students break certain rules. Like seriously, zero tolerance. There's all kinds of zero tolerance. Zero tolerance policy for sexual harassment and bullying. The first topic we're going to get on to is bullying. So from the Huffington Post, sorry. So why I think bullying is not part of zero tolerance policies? Should be part of zero tolerance policies. It should be part of it. Like the last when we talked about banning pencils and pens, that's not zero tolerance. So why the reason would you just ban pencils and pens for zero tolerance? That's where the next topic is. We're not just talking about zero tolerance, we're also talking about bullying in schools. So what is a bully? Well, a bully is use of superior strength or influence to imitate someone or typically to force them to do for her to do what one wants. When did it start? The bullies are the ones that just pick on you. That's where we go on to school bullying. So yesterday, thanks to NPR.org, School bullying is down. Why don't students believe it? It says right here, every state has laws against school bullying. In the past decade, many districts have overhauled discipline policies and created interventions to increase mutual respect in school. Pop culture and news media have focused on the harm it has done to children when children target each other with cruel treatment. Marginalized groups have found solidarity in social media campaigns such as It Gets Better or World Autism Awareness Day, underlining the message that everyone is worthy of learning in a safe environment. So, in 2005, 28.5% of students surveyed reported like people bully a lot. You even see commercials on this. You see commercials everywhere about bullying. There's bullying in the cafeteria. Like, you know what our term for a school bully is? Hibachi. Elementary pair of kids. Hibachi is nothing more than a school bully. There's all kinds of bullies. There's the bathroom bully. Elementary pair of kids. There's the bathroom bully, the library bully. They just what are the types? There's physical bullying and verbal bullying, social bullying, cyberbullying. There's all kinds. You know where that bullying starts? It happens in lockers. Like back then, there were no commercials that would talk about bullying, like how to stop a bully. Like you have to stand up for yourself on campus. But the campus safety magazine.com says there's like other types of bullies in schools. They have the ones that pick on you, laugh at you. There's verbal bullying. That's number one. Number two is social bullying. Number three is physical bullying. Number four is cyberbullying. I think number five. That's the four reasons. That's four types. Bullying always starts with people laughing at you, like there's big commercials everywhere that talk about bullying. The ad council just throws it all in there. Cigarettes, no smoking. You always gotta have someone to stand up for you. Stand up for what's right. Back in 1997, 2020 report said that the school couldn't help them stop bullying. The reason is because they couldn't find out which one of the girls was suspended. It was a it was a video that talked about it was a segment that talked about school bullying that happened in junior high. So what basically happened was the school. This happened at Franklin Regional High School. Why was the school targeting bullies? They didn't know. They didn't know who the bullies were. They didn't know them, so they just said, "We're going to suspend your daughters. We're going to suspend your daughter." And Batman, when I watched it, I was all like, "What?" So if you want to see that video, I'll put a link in the description below so y'all can see it, and I'll put it in the annotation. Well, next, sexual harassment in schools. Why is my taking me a break? Stay with us. You've heard this everywhere. Sexual harassment in schools. You've seen it in the headlines. Sexual harassment in schools. What can be said about it? Like, what can sexual sexual harassment do? The second recognized sexual harassment in schools is hostile environment harassment. Hostile environment harassment includes unwelcome sexual advances, requests sexual favors, and other verbal, nonverbal, or physical conduct of sexual nature by an employer or a student or a third party. How can you know when you're being sexual harassment? Well, if you're drawing a picture of someone with a naked body, that can be serious sexual harassment. You can get expelled for sexual harassment. Zero tolerance policy on this. It's a big issue, but then nobody knows about it. In the handbook, there's disciplinary, there's consequences for this. If you do sexual harassment, you will be disciplined depending on what the punishment is. Yeah. If you So you know you're being sexually harassed? Well, here are 4 reasons from youbeauty.com. Here are the 4 signs that you're being sexually harassed. Number 1, your boss calls you with other names. Here's an example. Just like name calling, like a slut or something. That's a sign of sexual harassment. Number 2, your coworker's always talking about his sex life and even hits on customers. Here's the thing. The behavior needs to be intentionally offensive, but it may offend people. That means sexual harassment right there. Number 3, the harassment is one big joke to everyone except you. You don't think it's funny. It can be explicit or not explicit. You're just going to think about it for a second. The 4th reason is your coworker or boss sends out inappropriate mass emails, like camera phones, like inappropriate photos, like someone takes a picture of her penis or vagina. That is sexual harassment when you take pictures of inappropriate stuff. Here are the 3 signs. Here are also the 3 signs. Here's 7. 7 total. So why does this happen? Well, people want to see, kids don't know what their ding dong is used for. My advice to all parents is keep your kids out of the room. You really don't want to see this, children should just leave the room. So these are the top 3. Number 1, that one sexual comment you try to ignore has turned into constant comments. Like if one person was being sexually harassed, other people will just come around. That's the other person. That's many people being sexually harassed. Number 2, you feel like your job depends on saying yes to sexual advance. Like what if your boss comes in and has you take off your shirt or your blouse? You might tell them yes, but you might want to say no. So recommendation, you say no. Number 3, your complaints are ignored or blocked. Like you try to see your boss, they will just ignore it or just go with it and say, we'll run the case, we'll do a case about it. Or mocked. Really? Number 3, give it a break. Oh, jeez. Here are the 10 things you need to know. Number 1, you can't quit. Number 2, look for the policy. Meaning that many workplaces don't have any policies about this. You have to check the employee handbook posted in the lunchroom. Written policies. If they don't have one, you're screwed. Number 3, put this in writing. Get a piece of paper and copy it so that you would understand. Call it a formal complaint of sexual harassment or bullying or harassment. Number 4, it does not have to be sexual. Gender-based harassment. Number 5, you probably can't sue for a single incident. For instance, hostile environment. At an English store, I'll put the link in the description below for meet me up. One woman, many others. There are many women. One boss didn't come forward to interview. Many women did. One CEO, false, either truly or false sexual harassment. I don't know. I can't remember. So that's number 5. Number 6, you don't have to fire the harasser. You're suing somebody, it can be a lot of money. Number 7, the employer must investigate. Do your homework. Write it down. For that woman, that story, I think she really did her homework. Number 8, keep reporting. Keep on doing your homework. Get an attorney involved. Number 9, you're not alone. The first victim, they can be like other victims around. Number 10, if you're tired, it's time to quit. Don't get working and hurt. If you don't want to, sir, if you don't want to be sexually harassed anymore, you want to quit your job, go ahead and quit. But if your boss wins a lawsuit, you're screwed with the same one. Because many companies have attorneys anywhere they can fight the lawsuit and say, well, that's not true, so on and so forth. Give me a break already. Well, we'll be back in just a moment. Next week on Give Me a Break, we're going to talk about gas prices, global warming, air conditioning, plumbing, and yes, ripoffs. That's next week. That's next week's topic of Give Me a Break. We're going to talk about scams. That's our show. Thanks for watching. No hate, no love. Wishing all of you the best you can buy for all of us at YouTube, all around the world. Have a good night.